seeing this?
He looks just like you.
Impossible. You're a colorful bunch.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're racing through the origins of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Any last words?
Nice magic marble. Real scary.
Although the Sonic universe is full of a variety of colorful characters, only a small group can say that they had entire games dedicated to them. On paper, it makes sense why longtime franchise mainstays like Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik each got their own titles. But how did Shadow the Hedgehog get a coveted spin-off spot just 4 years after he debuted in Sonic Adventure 2?
As you can see, the day of reckoning will soon be here.
To answer that question, we'll dive into his origin story, look at his reception, and show how his speedy rise in popularity got him a permanent place in the franchise. Without further ado, let's race back to his epic introduction.
Who are you, and how do you know I'm Shadow? And what are you talking about?
Sonic was minding his own business one day when he suddenly was captured by authorities for committing an unknown crime. Shortly after he escaped, he came face to face with another similar-looking hedgehog named Shadow.
What the? Good evening. I must say it's a pleasure to finally meet you face to face, Sonic. We do look alike. It's uncanny.
During a brief fight, Sonic learned that his mysterious being could use a skill known as Chaos Control to manipulate space and time. Shadow spent some time demonstrating his abilities before leaving Sonic at the mercy of the authorities once more.
I have a feeling I should make myself scarce. Goodbye, Sonic. It certainly was a great pleasure. Chaos Control now!
After leaving the battlefield, it was revealed that he had stolen one of the powerful Chaos Emeralds as part of a scheme he was working on with evil Dr. Robotnik. Since Shadow was one of the few anthropomorphic hedgehogs running around Earth, he was easily mistaken for Sonic. It was initially hard to understand why the new character would ever agree to a partnership with Robotnik, but as Shadow got closer to collecting all of the Chaos Emeralds, it became clear that his entire existence was tied closely to the Doctor's bloodline.
Maria!
Stop them! We can't let them get away!
Around 50 years before the Hedgehogs clashed, the young Maria Robotnik was fighting to survive a rare disease while living aboard a space colony near Earth. Her grandfather, Gerald, wanted nothing more but to save her from her suffering. So, when the government asked him to work on a project that could unlock the secrets of immortality, the scientist jumped on board.
When I began my research, I only wanted
to do good. That's why I worked to make the ultimate creature.
Although Gerald and his team successfully created a strong being known as the Bio-Lizard, they found it too dangerous to control. The undeterred scientists continued the experiments while trying to create an ultimate life form that could become more thoughtful and caring. Eventually, Gerald's experiments led to the birth of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Professor Robotnik said I'm here to do something important, though he never told me what that means.
Shortly after the anthropomorphic being started walking around the space colony, he became close friends with Maria Robotnik. Although the duo was content to hang with each other among the stars, they both wondered what it would be like to go to Earth.
I've seen photographs from down on the surface, but I wonder what it's like to be there. What is it like to see the sky above your head? I'd like to visit there and find out.
Me too.
Their daydreams were rudely interrupted with one tragic incident. Believing that Gerald's work had become too dangerous, the organization known as GUN boarded the space colony to put an end to his experiments. Since Shadow was part of the project, Maria rushed to get him on an escape pod to Earth.
Shadow, please promise me that you'll help people and be friends with them.
Maria!
But her kindness would cost her everything. While Maria was helping Shadow escape, she was mortally wounded by a gun soldier. She used her last words to try to convince her friend that he should help the world before saying one last goodbye.
Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow initially didn't get a chance to save anyone. Shortly after landing on Earth, he was recaptured and put into stasis. He stayed that way until Dr. Robotnik came along and freed the hedgehog.
My name is Shadow. You've awakened me from a state of suspended animation, and I am very grateful.
Consumed by vengeance, Shadow volunteered to steal Chaos Emeralds so the scientists could activate a machine known as the Eclipse Cannon. The machine was originally meant to threaten the people of Earth. However, an angry Gerald had modified the cannon so it would automatically destroy the planet.
My final revenge has begun. In a few minutes, you will be destroyed. Space Colony Ark will hurtle through the atmosphere and crash into this planet with devastating force.
After some self-reflection and a few conversations with the heroes, Shadow decided to help foil his creator's plans. He quickly teamed up with Sonic to defeat any and all obstacles that stood in between them and saving the world.
Leave that thing for me. Shadow! You and the others take care of the Chaos Emeralds and I'll distract it.
While Shadow was working to stop the colony from falling, he ran low on power. The Hedgehog sadly fell back to Earth before he could recover. It seemed like he had sacrificed his life to save the world full of people he once tried to hurt.
Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
Fortunately, Shadow's story didn't end here. The edgy hedgehog became so popular amongst fans that Sega decided that reports of his death were greatly exaggerated. 4 years after his apparent demise, Shadow was made into the lead character of his own title.
Now that was sweet, Shadow.
Yeah, well, I'm not here to save you.
Unfortunately, the game fell short of expectations. The biggest criticism and source of comedy about it was the fact that the ultimate life form Shadow occasionally put his own power aside and picked up guns. There were even shooting sound effects when you made certain selections. While there's nothing wrong with making Sonic games more mature, fans thought the adult themes had gone too far.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Although the game's edginess was ridiculed, the character would survive the fiasco with his popularity intact. Over 20 years after his first appearance, Shadow is still in high demand. Fans were particularly excited when it was announced he would appear in the third live-action Sonic film.
Someone worked very hard to keep this hidden.
My God. Project Shadow.
Time will tell if Shadow's appearance there will lead to another full game that lets the Hedgehog put the guns down so we can fully see more of his story.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
It's amazing to see how a character who has had a relatively small amount of screen time over the years became a sensation among fans. While Shadow doesn't appear in every game and show, he often gets a warm reception whenever he shows up. There's still plenty of room for this mysterious hedgehog to run. It's likely that Shadow will have a legion of fans following him wherever he goes next.
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog, and I made a promise that I intend to keep.
What's your favorite part of Shadow's pop culture journey? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Ready, team? Chaos Control!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.